Hey everyone, Bruce, 51 Napco. Okay, I'm doing more stuff with my camping gear today. I've got a little piece of metal here that I'm going to use, I think. Let me show you what I've got going on here. I have a small cast iron little kettle. And I also have a cast iron pan. This one happens to be a Wapak, and this right here is the Z mark. So this is a Wapak Z pan. This is the what do they call that? That's the number of the mold number, and this one is a number 9, which doesn't really mean the size or anything. Each company gave their pans a number, and they don't really correspond to anything but what their own company used it for. But anyway, if you can see all the crust on this thing, this I think was my grandmother's or great-grandmother's, who knows, but it came from my family. And so I'm going to clean it with electrolysis today, or try to. And also this one is Mrs. 51 Napco. She got it from somewhere. What's cool about this one is I've been doing some research, and that mark right there on the bottom, here, let me set it down here. This mark right here, that's called a gate mark. And what a gate mark is, that's where the hole was when this mold was in the sand, and this where the iron would be going is a void in the sand, and then there's a hole in the sand, and that's where they pour in the molten iron through this gate, and there's like a funnel up on top, I guess. And then so anyway, these ones actually are the oldest style of forging, or not forging, but casting these pieces. And they kind of stopped doing this way of pouring, and then they started pouring on the lid. So I'm not sure where, but they poured the castings from the top and ground the flashing off after they were done. That's the more modern way of doing it. So, and they pretty much stopped doing that. They started coming into doing it the newer way. What would they say? 1870s to 1900s. So pretty much you can be sure to a certain degree that this is going to be pre-1900. Unless it was made by somebody else that was still using the old way after 1900, but it fell out of style. So chances are that's pre-1900, that little kettle. And the Wapak pan, skillet, Wapak was in business from 1903 to 1926, I think. So as the newest this could be is a 1926. So anyway, I'm going to put this together. What you use is a battery charger, so I got to get it all together, and then when I get it all together, I'll show you what I got going on. Okay, right now I've got an old leaf spring. This is part of the leaf springs that I got for the Napco, but they were so thick I took a couple out. I'm going to use this as an anode. That should work. Okay. It says use washing powder or washing soda, which is sodium carbonate. I don't have that. So I'm going to use sodium bicarbonate, baking soda. Should be a suitable enough sub. There. 5 tablespoons for 5 gallons of water. Okay, I think that should do it. This isn't the ideal battery charger. It doesn't seem, because it's not quite manual. I've got a 50 amp start and a 10 amp charge. So we'll just see what happens. Just put the clip on. And I need more water. Okay. Okay, turn it on. And immediately I can see it working. See all the bubbles coming off of the pan. Okay, so basically what's going on is I got the leaf spring in there in the corner, and they also have this piece of angle in this other corner, and they're the anodes. And so basically I've turned it into a battery, and the pan is the cathode. So the metal goes from the anode to the cathode. And so this is supposed to be a very good way to clean these things. So let's just see what happens. Okay, Went through the electrolysis process and cleaned everything off of the skillet. There's just a little bit left on in a couple of spots, but I think it's good enough. Bottom's nice and smooth. And then the casting came out pretty nice. Much more legible than it was. Now you can see Wapak really well, and then 102A. The A really shows up now at number 9. So, but it's down to bare metal. There was so much crud on it, but it's bare metal now. So now I'm going to season it. All I have is canola oil, but I've heard canola oil is one of the good ones that you can use, so... Because I was going to do flax, but I don't have it, so... Doesn't look bad. It's got a really nice bottom on it, and it's very flat, so it's a very good pan. And so I'll season it, put it back into service. Okay, now here's the completed pan. I got about 3 coats of seasoning. I used canola oil, because that's all I had. And it's just a little too hot to touch still. Almost. But it's really neat how the bottom came out now. So, grandma, great-grandma, great-great-grandma, whoever's pan this is, back to like brand new condition. Okay, so here's the completed photographs of the pan. It's a Wapak number 9 skillet from 1903 to 1926 was the company when the company was in business. And but I had a lot of fun doing it, and now I've got the cast iron bug, and now I want to get a whole bunch more and fix them all. So anyway, 51 Napco. Till the next update.